One of your clients, right before he died, was Jeffrey Epstein. Now, there's been a whole below. The president says, "Why do you make such a big deal about him?" And they're saying there was nothing complicit in his death, and he didn't have a list. You were in touch with him right before he died. So, do you believe what they're saying without proof that he committed suicide, that it wasn't murder? Didn't somebody get to him?
I've never believed that he committed suicide for two main reasons. One, anecdotally, as you say, I met with him 9 days before he died. He had been calling since his arrest to have me come and meet with him, but he had a whole battery of top-notch lawyers, so I figured he was set. But his in-house counsel then called me, and I was very flattered. Quite frankly, he said that he has to see you, that you're the only person in the world he trusts with his life. So I went up there to see him 9 days before he died, and we came to an agreement that I would take over the case. I did it subject to meeting with his current lawyers, or I would put my own team in, and I had already lined up a team to bring in. His lawyers were hesitant about meeting with me, but I wanted them to hear from him that he wanted me to take over the case and all that. Anyway, but so anecdotally, 9 days before he died, we planned a whole strategy to fight the case. He was in good spirits, and I was in touch with some of the local lawyers who had been visiting him in between. They had asked me to take over a bail hearing that he had coming up, and I was hesitant to do that because I didn't like the record they had made earlier. But that Friday, he died on a Saturday. The Friday before, the lawyers tell me he was giving out instructions based on the strategy we had worked out. And he had also asked me to do another task for him that was only forward-looking. So the idea that a couple of days later he would have killed himself doesn't make sense. But more importantly, Michael Baden, who I believe to be the foremost medical examiner in the world, who was New York City medical examiner, went through the medical examination after his death with the assistant New York medical examiner. Dr. Baden has said that in all of the tens of thousands of autopsies and medical examinations he's done, he has never seen injuries like this consistent with a suicide. Secondly, he said the medical examiner who went through the examination with him, the city's person, said that she found it inconclusive. She couldn't come to any conclusion about cause of death, but 4 days later, they called it a suicide without any additional information. The size and layout of the cell also doesn't make suicide likely based on a couple of calls I get afterwards from other inmates, doesn't make suicide likely. But I don't have a theory as to who killed him. I don't have a conspiracy theory. Others do. And usually in this situation, if someone were killing him to make a name for himself because he was a sexual offender, that sort of thing, then that person would generally want to take credit for it. That hasn't happened here. So I don't know the full answer, but my belief is that he did not commit suicide.